Hi folks, welcome back for more Let's Play Sam and Max Save the World. Unfortunately, this is my second time having to record this bit because something happened during the middle of it last time and it went all weird and desynced and everything. But anyway, the next step should be pretty clear. We want to get all of this money into Bosco's account. So let's take a look at them real quick, shall we?
Look, Max, it's our old friends, the Toy Mafia.
Didn't they blow up?
Just the casino and the hypnotic teddy bears. I'm sure they have plenty of other illicit but family-friendly operations.
So, who else is involved in all this?
Mr. Bibb. A pseudonym, perhaps?
I frequently use a pseudonym myself, you know.
Really? What is it?
Max.
What's your real name then? Oh.
Kittens for peace.
Oh, good. 3 things I can't stand.
You have to admire the pro-lobby lobbyists for their unrepentantly self-serving stance.
I prefer the charming, self-destructed nihilism of the anti-lobby lobbyists.
I see Hollywood's movers and shakers are involved in whatever's going on here.
That reminds me, I have to work on my presidential enemies list.
That'll work.
Grandma Bosco? Is that who I think it is?
Former Postmaster General, inventor of bifocals and the flexible urinary catheter?
You're thinking of Benjamin Franklin. I think this is Bosco's grandmother.
Right, I always get those two mixed up. It's the teeth.
Okay.
Hey, Sam, what's the difference between online banking and online gambling?
Judging by what I see here, not much. Looks like our entire national treasury is just a drop box in a huge money laundering operation.
As president, you'd think I'd know about these things.
I'm sure you've got more important matters on your feverish mind.
Earlier this week, I issued a decree to abolish the word proactive.
Unusually public-spirited of you, little buddy.
Well, I guess.
Digital
Okay.
business. Now there's a vague term.
If you think about it, analog business is even more vague.
Is it more surprising that Max would use analog or that he actually used it correctly? Yeah.
There's Bosco's account. Do you think he's mixed up in all this?
I think he's mixed up all by himself.
Agreed. I think he's too paranoid to belong to any group whatsoever.
But he does his banking at a shady offshore establishment?
Of course. Don't you?
Touché.
Well, let's see. Obviously, before we can do anything, we need to pay attention and see what's going on here. The money will follow the arrows until it hits an area it can't escape from. Like this one, it went down and to the right. Well, it can't go back down because this arrow's pointing that way, and that arrow's pointing to the right, so it's stuck there. But if I were to do this, all the money would now be stuck in Kittens for Peace. Let's see, it does that constantly. So whenever you click any of the Cook the Books, it flips all the arrows next to it.
Please speak or enter your password.
So obviously, the first thing we really need to do is open up
Bosco.
Bosco's...
Access granted.
So his
Bosco's
password
line?
really is Bosco. Kind of a letdown.
It's ingenious. That's the last thing you'd expect.
Maybe. But basically, we had to unlock his so that arrow would actually change. So... Not my plan originally there, but I think I can work with it. And now... Okay, now I've got everything there. So I can flip those. And there we go.
Don't look now, but I think we just gave Bosco $1 billion.
That ought to buy a few cans of reconstituted luncheon meat.
I read somewhere that a stack of $1 billion $1 bills would be 60 miles high.
Yikes! It's a good thing I don't read, or I'd be perpetually freaked out by stuff like that.
Come on, little buddy. We've had our fun. Let's blow this cabbage patch.
Come on. Thank you. Now let's hope the game doesn't freak out, because what we need to do now is go buy the, we need to go buy the biological weapon. Now that we've given him his money.
Hey, Bosco. You find our little gift in your bank account?
I don't know how you guys did it, but the $1 billion is all there. Hey, man, I don't ask questions. So, how'd you do it?
That's
Never
a question.
you mind, Bosco. Just hit us with your highest grade biological weapon, please.
All right. Here you go.
We just paid $1 billion for a snot rag?
That's a deadly virulent disease. I feel a real bad cold coming on.
Yeah, but you gotta admit, that is some expensive mucus.
Oh, but it works. Trust me, trust me.
Whatever.
Whatever is just about right. Bosco, if I could reach you, I'd smack you. $1 billion. You gotta be kidding me. Oh well. So, now armed with that, walk back over here. Get closer to the email box. And okay, what do I have? I do not have the 2+2 sword I need yet, so since altered gravity should still be in effect.
Please use caution. Injury sustained in Reality 2.0 will also affect your physical being in your former reality.
Now you remember that this was stuck, so let's loosen it up, shall we? A unicorn
Cool. I have a
blade.
+2 sword.
You're just compensating for something.
You're a fine one to talk.
Indeed. Okay. Hop down. And I do believe... Did I get the shield turned back on?
No siree.
No. I do believe the shield is
Nothing doing.
on. But let's go look.
Pop-ups have been disabled.
Disabled. Okay, I had it up.
Pop-ups have been enabled.
There we go. Okay, now we have our shield, and we have the weapon we will need to take down Antibiotic. Shoo.
Entering combat. Antibiotic. Dexterity, 459. Your dexterity, 3. Antibiotic has initiative. Antibiotic attacks.
And we must defend, as always.
Attack blocked.
You know what you're doing this time?
We're about to find out.
Sam attacks.
Again, with feeling this time.
Don't distract me, butthead.
That's the spirit, Sam.
So,
Attack successful. Antibiotic takes 3,930 damage. Antibiotic is defeated.
I think we've just uninstalled ourselves some malevolent software.
And we didn't even get any coins out of it. What a chip.
okay. Now with her out of the way, let's get rid of Reality 2.0. Or at least the internet.
Happy trails, little software disease.
Aw, I had plans for that.
I'm hoping the internet won't.
Danger! Danger! Software corruption spreading. Damage control alert. Visual rendering systems infected. Data instability.
Things happen fast in Reality 2.0.
What's happening, Sam?
It's our disease. Looks like it's taking out the graphics first.
I'm disappointed in you, Sam. I try to do something nice.
Nice?
All I wanted was for everyone to be happy. But no! You want free will.
Yeah, we're funny about that.
You want funny? Try this. If I'm going down, I'm taking you with me. And everybody else who's still logged on.
But all we have to do is take off our goggles.
You'll find that you can't. You're trapped here. And when I crash, you'll die.
I'm too young and pretty to die.
I thought you wanted everyone to be happy.
Not anymore. I've completely lost my respect for living things. So you're going down.
There go the graphics.
And there go us.
How should I know? Oh, good, the sound's back. Now shut up and read.
So now, we have regressed into an old school text adventure, and you will recognize these as typical commands you use in an old school text adventure. So let's start out here. Street, West End. You are standing on a city street that continues to the east. A small shop labeled Sybil's lies to the northwest, just in front of a pulsating control room. Parked near an unremarkable office building is an old DeSoto, apparently painted by someone with severe color blindness. Suddenly, a massive reality quake sends the DeSoto hurtling into the control room, destroying both. Possibly as a result, the unremarkable office building becomes a remarkable 2-story tall Pamela Anderson, who mumbles something unintelligible before surfing away on a stray pop-up ad, ironically advertising a pop-up blocker. In the distance, an aerial squadron of pot-bellied pigs begins performing precision loop-de-loops. The world appears to be ending. The internet is here. It has lost respect for living things. You see a respect for living things here. Well, let's start by looking at everything it lets us, like the internet. It glowers at you, callous and angry.
You won't talk me out of it. You living things do nothing but push me around. We'll go down together, and there is nothing you can do about it.
You seem pretty certain about that.
Well, there's probably nothing you can do about it.
Sam, I prefer not to be deleted by the internet.
Well, let's get cracking then, little buddy.
Wouldn't
I
we
hate
all?
it when you say, let's get cracking.
Too bad. And it pretty much summarizes there, so we'll look at the respect for living things, which is nothing
I don't know whether
special
to
about
be
it.
intrigued or repulsed.
Ambiguity, Max. It's what makes life worth wallowing in.
Okay. And let's look at Max. You look at your companion Max. You see a white rabbit-like creature with boundless energy and dubious morals.
Yep, that's a me.
And you're not a threat tomorrow either. So let's try getting this respect and giving it back to the internet. But as we reach for the respect for living things, there's a terrible tremor, and a giant crack tears apart the sidewalk. The respect for living things slides, jelly-like, into the resulting chasm.
I knew it wasn't going to be that easy.
I never cease to be impressed by your unwavering optimism, Max.
Me either. And let's see. Let's try to get the internet. It just looks annoying.
You can't get me. I'm ungettable.
I'm so over this internet thing.
You and me both, little buddy.
Let's try to get Max.
Hey, you can't get me.
Just kidding, Max.
Okay. So we only have a sword here, so let's try using it on the internet.
But you miss, all right? You miss. You living creatures are so destructive. I have no regrets taking you with me when I delete myself.
Yeah. Let's see what happens when we use it with Max.
Hey, what are you doing with that thing?
I was just thinking you could do with a shave, little buddy.
That sword touches a hair on my cute furry tail, and I'll use your colon for a shower cap.
Oh, Max, your lovable reactions to the threat of violence never cease to amuse.
You know where you can stick your amusement?
Okay, the internet is busy filling out internet polls while it waits to die, and we've done all that, so let's leave. Let's go to Sybil's. Just as you entered the cluttered shop, a livid shopping cart comes crashing through the roof, empties itself on the floor, and flies off indignantly. Every tasteless trinket Sybil ever considered buying now sits on the floor in heaps of unfettered tackiness. Moments later, all the photos of Sybil's cat adorning the wall simultaneously spring to life. Streams of kittens come shooting out of the wall like cats out of a fire hose. As the kittens run rampant through the piles of junk, they mew sweetly and ooze a nauseating cuteness. Among the junk, you see a rare foil card and a large jewel-encrusted idol. There is a lake of nauseating cuteness here. So let's look at everything. These are easily the cutest kittens you have ever seen in your life. Everything about them is perfect and cute, from their large blue eyes to their fuzzy little tails. They're so completely cute that the runoff from their cuteness has formed a small lake of nauseating cuteness.
I may have to pull off their cute little ears.
I wouldn't do that, Max. You don't know the extent of their insidious powers of adorability.
Okay. So now let's look at the lake here. The ooze from the kittens is collected into this lake of nauseating cuteness. You can barely stand to gaze directly at this appalling concentration of cuteness, and even the fumes make you feel sort of squishy
Hey,
inside.
squooshy isn't a word.
Play nice with the virtual world, Max. We don't want to be deleted prematurely.
Good point. And the idol. The gold jewel-encrusted idol glints alluringly in some untraceable light source. Its sparkling ruby eyes seem filled with a cruel mirth.
Ugly little bugger, ain't it?
You can't even see it, Max.
I can see it in my mind. Sheesh, Sam, use your imagination.
You okay? Now the card. Not only is this card from the ultra-popular collectible card game Cash Flush rare, but it's also foil, making it doubly attractive to hardcore collectors, and doubly confusing to everyone else.
Woo, look at the way the foil shines in the light.
You don't even play collectible card games.
It's never too late to start an expensive and potentially habit-forming hobby.
Indeed. Okay, and with everything looked at in here, except for Max, because it doesn't really matter if we look at Max as we already seen him, I think this is a good spot to cut the video, because this is where I ended last time. At least I think it is. I'll go back if I have to and re-add some stuff in. But anyway, time to cut the video. So, when we return, we try to take care, once and for all, of Reality 2.0 and not become a casualty in the process. See you then, folks. Take care.